Hello and welcome. And in this video, I'm going to take a quick dive into the argument around paid or organic marketing and what's the best for business owners, coaches, experts, and so on. So I want to dive into this real quick. I've released a post that you may have seen published online today. And so the post is paid versus organic. And I get asked about this quite a lot. And it's one of the things that I guess if you're marketing your business right now that I wanted to raise in terms of the topic for you to think about, because there's a lot of advancements in different technologies right now, as in AI, how to leverage what you're doing with marketing, to leverage what you're doing in terms of messaging, communication, and so on. But the age old grow your business question around should you use organic, use paid, marketing or advertising, it's a common thing that I come across with a lot of people, clients, new people that I'm speaking to. And I want to touch on a few things that I mentioned in the article that I published today. And I thought it would be useful just to capture on video, just to give you the kind of summary version, which is when it comes to marketing your business and generating leads, there's 4 key areas that you can go after in terms of, attracting leads. You've got number 1, which is cold. And usually cold, these are people that have never heard of you. And quite often it comes in the form of unsolicited messaging on social media. If you're on LinkedIn, you'll know what I'm talking about, where you get a new connection request and within 2 seconds, somebody's, basically pitching you. This is cold, right? And then you've got warm, where you're going out to people that you're already speaking to. They may not directly be, interested in an offer that you've got, but you've already got some type of relationship. So you way into a conversation, and you can leverage that way in to get people obviously open to perhaps what offers you've got on. Number 3, organic marketing. And organic basically simply means that you use your time to create content, you publish it on social media, and you hope that the content works well. And usually it's about quality and volume combined, right? You could argue that it's more quality than volume, but one thing that I've found is that more volume actually helps regardless, of what you're doing. But the quality aspect is what's going to get people over the finish line to actually raise their hand. And number 4, even the 4th way that you can generate leads is paid advertising. Right, so you need to play on places like Google/YouTube ads, or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. But if we look at, dropping cold and warm, ways of generating leads, that leaves us with paid and organic marketing. And I guess the question at this point is, well, what's the right approach? What approach is going to generate you the leads? And the thing that I want to really focus in on is, if you're a coach, consultant, or expert, and you're at that 10 to 30K level, you may have got there from organic. You may have dabbled in a bit of paid advertising, and usually you're burnt in one of those areas, which is you're burnt in the time that it's taken to publish and create and craft, your organic marketing, meaning you may have even invested in copywriters or social media managers to distribute the content for you, or perhaps you've invested in paid advertising and you've got burnt by investing your money and not generating leads. And I guess we've all been there, right? And you've got to go, through the fire, so to speak, the ring of fire, in order to, figure out what works and what doesn't work when it comes to paid advertising. And once you start to understand how to leverage your marketing, your message, and actually generate leads, whether it's organically or using paid advertising, this is, I guess, the answer that you're looking for ultimately. Because without, understanding really well, can I create content? Can I create content with offers? Can I create content with offers and call to actions that generates leads? Is the key thing. Because usually when your marketing isn't working on organic or paid, it's nothing to do with the technical ability or how you kind of format what it is that you're publishing. It's usually to do with the message and the offers that you put in to your ads and content. And this is the part where most people fall down, which is they're not willing to put the time into crafting a meaningful marketing message. And so by the time they come to run paid ads, it's like you're just burning a hole in your pocket. And I've been there. I remember when I was really pushing, with growth in my business about 5 years ago, and I burnt through £5,000 in 2 months. And, for some people who advertise at a lot higher rates, probably not a big deal. But, just to give you some context, I've even had one client that I helped before that was investing £1,000 a month, and at the end of the year, they generated £1.2 million in sales. So, with regards to how much you invest in ads is relative, obviously, to what results you get. But the point I'm getting to is quite easy to burn through an ad budget, especially if you've got the cash and you're flowing with cash, and you can do that, right? But the one thing that I like about this argument of paid and organic marketing is, if you're focused on crafting a message that gets hands raised, and you do that through organic, right? The cool thing about organic is that you can test different variations of messaging, and you're less constrained by, I guess, the rules of Facebook ads, Google ads, and their, policies. But the cool thing about it is you can test in different locations like groups, profiles. And this is what opens up the doors, to testing different styles of messaging, disrupting in your messaging, in places like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and all these, different channels. And the cool thing about this is the more that you test, the more you're going to stumble on, are you able to generate leads? And once you start to generate leads, and this is one of the things I've seen as well, where people do, they get something that works and they stop doing it, right? Because they're chasing the bright, shiny object of something new. But the thing that I found that works the best in marketing is when you find, an area, topic, frustrations, desires, the thing that really juices your niche up, that's what you double down in when it comes to organic. And when you double down with organic and you start to get hands raised in different communities or different groups or different places on social media, that's usually a sign that you found a message for an audience that you can then test in paid advertising. And that's what I put out in this article today, which is, it's not one or the other. When you're at that level of generating anything from 10 to 30,000 plus per month, you should be doing a mix of both. And I find that the organic route is a great way to kind of like getting to, I guess, unknown markets. And so, new people can just come across you. Whereas when you run your paid advertising, generally the platforms are serving your ads to people who are likely to click on that type of ad, meaning the message and what you've got in there, right? Whether it's a video ad or just a text ad. And I think the key thing in, growing your business, and this is the importance that I want to get across, is when you run ads, the thing that you're running your ad for, right? Paid ads, you've got to think of that as both the message and the offer. Because when you're generating leads, it isn't, can I just put the same thing out and get people to raise their hands like I have on organic social media? What you're doing is taking what you know from organic posting and seeing if that can work, and then taking parts of it where it does work and then leveraging and evolving that up so that you get more scale in the ads and basically generate more leads. People do, though, is when they go into paid advertising, they're not considering, is this the kind of thing that if a person saw this ad, would they look at it and think ad, or would they look at it and think, that looks cool, let me click on that, let me register for either the webinar or grab, the lead magnet, or buy the Tripwire products, like a low price product. And this is the interesting thing that a lot of people don't see, which is your ads are a gateway to the next step. And it might be that it's a gateway to generate the lead or generate this low priced, Tripwire product that leads people to actually investing in either booking in a call with you, speaking to you in your DMs, meaning speaking to perhaps you or your team, and then qualifying those people into your signature offers, your signature products. And that's where the real opportunity lies when it comes to, paid and organic. It's understanding the platforms that you're on, and are you putting the right offers out into basically the blue ocean? Because a lot of the times, this argument with organic versus paid, there is no argument. A lot of it comes down to, well, what's my preference? It's, I've been really successful with organic. I've generated multi-six figures, or I've generated 7 figures, and that's why I never do ads. But the reality of the business owner, right? And I say the business owner, i.e. you, your job is not to create more of a job. It's to become the CEO ultimately and get to that point. And so if you've got a consistent place that generates you leads, that allows you to grow, that you can leave your team to manage, and then you can manage your team, like that's what you're after. Whereas if you're constantly in, I have to create, I can't take time off, or if I do take time off, my sales suffer, my lead generation suffers. Like that's the challenge that ultimately you're always going to face as a bottleneck. And some people say, I'm happy with that. Like that's how I want to run my business. Yes and no. I think for me, when you look at it seriously as a business, you can't be happy with something that suffers just because you're not there. Whereas if you can create something that's leveraged and you can run ads when you're not there and your team can manage those ads, you've got automations, funnels in place that push people through either to checkouts or to get calls booked in to speak to either you on your return, or perhaps you've got, like a sales team member who does the closing or onboarding for you, whatever you've got in place. That's a business that will give you the leverage and allow you to buy back your time. So if you want the link to the article that I have mentioned today, I'll put it into the comments below this video, so you'll be able to check that out. And if you've got any questions around whether you should go into paid advertising or continue with organic or anything around the two, just let me know in a comment below and I'll come back and answer your comments directly. And finally, if you're a culture expert who's at the 10 to 30K plus per month level, you're generating leads, but you've hit a limit and you're not increasing or converting as many prospects into clients, and you want to go to that next level. More specifically, you'd like to double your sales in the next 6 to 12 months, just DM me with the word visionary and I'll send you more details on how I can help you make that happen. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.